Now, just like any cognitive function, it is possible to get brain impairment that's going to lead to specific deficits in attentional processing. And I just wanted to talk about one specific example that's really quite interesting. And that example is called visual neglect. So this happens to quite a lot of people. They may have a stroke, typically in their right hemisphere, in the parietal region here. And it's just on one side of their brain, so typically on the right side. And what it does is that, interestingly enough, the right side of the brain deals with the left side of attentional space, and the left side of the brain deals with the right side of attentional space. So how do we know when people have a stroke that it's specifically their attention and not just their eyeballs that have been damaged? Well, if you ask them to copy, say, figures like a star, a cube, and a daisy, what people will actually produce is something like this, where they have drawn some of the star, meaning that their eyesight is just fine, but they have lost the ability to pay attention to half of the object. In this case, you see on the left side, because the damage is on the right side of the brain. In this case, the cube kind of gets half drawn, but there's stuff missing, and here in case of the daisy, you see it too. The right side, there's some of it, the left side is completely missing. And even here on this clock, you see that the full surround is being drawn, but some of the digits, especially on the left side, are completely missing. Now, I'll post a video that you can watch where you can see somebody with this dysfunction and actually talk you through what that's actually like. But in general, the visual experience is like that across the board. And even when they're sitting at the dinner table and eating their dinner, they will actually not notice that half their plate on the left side is still completely filled with food. It's not that they're blind, their eyesight is fine, but they're unable to switch their attentional system to the left side of space. And one of the reasons why we know this is that if you tell a person with this deficit, hey, you forgot half of your plate, there's still more food on the other side, they can then actually shift their attentional system and then actually realize that, hey, actually, yes, I do see that now. Now that you've specifically instructed for my attention to be directed there, now they can actually detect it. And they probably do that actually by making that the left side of that plate is now actually in their right attentional field. You see this deficit across a wide range of tasks you can give them. You can tell them, hey, here's a line, can you cut it in half? They will draw where the half point is for them, about where half of the line would be. And you see that very consistently here and in these drawings as well. So this condition, visual neglect, or sometimes called hemispatial neglect, because the half of space is neglected, is just a lack of awareness of stimuli presented to the space opposite of the side of the brain damage. And as I said, typically this is on the right side, so then people have actual attentional problems on the left side of their visual field.